Little Miss Splendid by Roger Hargreaves. Nothing was too good for little Miss Splendid. She lived in a huge house surrounded by large gardens. She slept in an enormous bed with silk sheets and silk pillowcases. She bathed in a gold bath, and she dined off silver plates. Oh, she was splendid. At least she thought so. Little Miss Splendid thought a lot of herself. In fact, she thought about little else. One day, while taking a stroll around her gardens, little Miss Splendid came upon a small door in one of the walls. She'd never noticed it before. I wonder what's going on. I wonder what's through here, she thought, and opening the door, she stepped through. She found herself on a road. Along came Mr. Small, out for a short walk. "Good morning," he remarked politely, raising his hat. Little Miss Splendid stuck her nose even higher in the air and walked past him if he wasn't there. What's a common little man? She thought to herself. Coke. She came to a bus stop. Mr. Happy and Mr. Daydream were waiting for a bus into town. "Hello," grinned Mr. Happy. "Who are you?" "I," she replied, "am Splendid." "Oh," said Mr. Happy. "Aren't you going to catch the bus?" asked Mr. Daydream. "Me?" She said, "The bus. Never. I," she went on, have never ever in the whole of my life traveled on a bus." An expression of distaste happened across her face. "You have to sit next to people on buses," she went on, "and that would never do." "Oh," said Mr. Happy, and scratched his head. He couldn't think of anything to say. Miss Splendid walked up with her nose very high in the air. Miss Splendid arrived in town. She looked at herself and all the shop windows as she looked down the street. "I must say," she thought to herself, "I do look absolutely splendid." And then something caught her eye. There in the middle of the window of the hat shop was a hat. Not just a hat. A hat and a half. The most magnificent, sumptuous, desirable, gorgeous, spectacular, amazing, splendid hat you've ever seen. Coke. Miss Splendid marched into the shop. She snapped her fingers and a saleslady hurried to her side. "Good morning, madam," the saleslady said. Miss Splendid ignored her. "Can I help you?" "I," announced little Miss Splendid, "wish to try on the hat in the window." Ding. Miss Splendid looked at her. Wait a minute. I think I Why do I keep making mistakes for my Coke boy? Miss Splendid looked at herself in the mirror. "Magnificent," she breathed. "I look absolutely magnificent." "I'll take it," she announced. "But don't you want to know how much it costs?" asked the saleslady. "Costs?" queried little Miss Splendid loftily. "I never discuss money matters. Send me the bill." And she marched out of this shop. Coke. Why do I don't know how to pronounce? Little Miss Splendid stood on the pavement and held up her head. "Taxi," she announced in a loud, important voice. A taxi stopped. "Take me home," she ordered, and went to get in, but of course she couldn't. Her new hat was much too large to fit through the taxi door. "Taxi," Driver, she said, you should purchase yourself a larger taxi. In the meantime, she went on, I shall walk. The taxi driver grinned. Little Miss Splendid walked along. Perhaps it's better to walk, she thought to herself, so that everyone has the chance to admire my magnificent-looking hat. But then it happened. It started to rain. And the trouble was, the more it started raining, the more it rained. And the trouble was, the more it rained, the more Miss Splendid got wet. And the trouble was, the wetter she got, the wetter her hat got. What a sorry sight. Don't you agree? A very wet hat. The bus, on its return journey from town, passed her. Mr. Happy and Mr. Daydream, on their way home, is sitting in the dry, looked out the window. I say, remarked Mr. Happy, looking at the bedraggled figure trudging along in the wet. What a splendid sight. Mr. Daydream giggled. Splendid, he agreed. Miss Splendid, looking anything but splendid, arrived home. However, after a hot bath in her gold bath, and after a boiled egg in a gold egg cup, eaten with a silver spoon, she felt much better. What? In fact, later on, she spent an extremely pleasant evening looking at. Well, what do you think she spent all evening looking at? No, not television. Herself in the mirror. No, boy, that Marafupus cat. Why does Miss Splendid have to look at herself in an actual mirror? I've seen one on television. Her U.S. voice is so cute and explosive. Mr. Noisy doesn't actually explode Googles. Google doesn't sell. Facebook. Is this the return of that meme? Oh, Statler, I cannot get up. I am a clumsy fellow that can fall into a balcony. Off of a balcony, I mean, sorry. I was thinking it's explosive to bring Miss Splendid her KFC. I needed her as a... Why does Miss Splendid have to look at herself in a mirror? It's a KFC boy. I watched her video, her book, in early 2016, and then I realized it's some man. This is not television. Read another book. It's gonna make all you people explode. I think it's some egads. I'd like a piece of... This is not Splendid. You know what? Topo Sticky. These stress ball looks splendid. It looks like donuts. If I'd say, if an orange is smashed, it looks exactly like a donut. Let me test out how the stress ball works. I am a big fidget fan, actually. Although, why does it keep doing this? This sounds not exotic, you people, right? Oh man. What in the world is he exploding my brain in my boy? Fine.